Oh, and she's a bit too.
Yes, here we are, and we're live. Hello, Internet. Welcome to the Self-Publishing Roundtable Weekly Roundup of indie publishing news and stuff and things. My name is Chrishaun Keller Hannah, substituting for Erica Conroy, who Chrome has decided they're going to do an offensive and not let her on. We're hoping that we get this all sorted next week. With me is Cate Morgan. Hello, Cate.
Hello, Internet.
Hello. And our special guest is Dr. Yurkas. Say hello to the folks out there.
Hello.
Right. Oh, yes. Erica is sitting here saying that Chrome and Firefox hate me. They hate all of us, love. They hate all of us. So we're hoping that she gets all that sorted out. We've got a lot to talk about. There's Amazon news, as usual, a little bit of Kobo, love for the older folks like me. And so we're going to start off with Amazon.
Because the news is always full of Amazon.
Because it is always full of Amazon. Amazon is life.
Oh, Amazon.
Yes. One trick or scam that's currently happening in the KU, Kindle Unlimited universe, KU, is in Germany. Readers click a link that takes them from the beginning of the book to the end of the book. And that causes the KDP to read that as if all the pages are read. They're doing this by offering a chance to win something or say something about the book before the content. Authors who have their table of contents in the back of their books as a way to offer more content when you're reading the sample are also finding their books to be removed, and they are contacted by KDP and given 5 days to comply. So on one hand, it's people being scammy. On the other hand, it's I really want you to read the sample when you click on sample, and Amazon's not liking that. Either which way, it sounds like Amazon is swinging for scammers and hitting us in the gob. What do you think, dear?
Well, you know what? I set up my ebooks traditionally with the links in the back. Mm-hmm. So I know a lot of people put them in the front and have the customer able to click into other formats for them.
Right.
But I don't know anyone who does that, the front matter, and then automatically reads the book to the end. Mm-hmm. I think I have an echo. That's why I'm kind of hesitating when I talk.
All right, then. You can go ahead and put on your headphones. We'll have Cate weigh in while you do that.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. Go ahead and put your headphones on. And Cate, why don't you weigh in the meantime?
I'm definitely with you on the whole Amazon swinging a cat by the tail and hitting innocent bystanders in the process. Mm-hmm. I also find it interesting that this has been noticed in the German market and not on the U.S. side. Mm-hmm. Because, the first thing when the whole KU thing first started happening with the pages read, a lot of it was to stop the 4-page pamphlets being,
No, I need a microphone.
Being sold for $9.99 and not doing anything useful because people were trying to get the Kindle money.
Right.
And so having the pages read was a heavy-handed but effective solution. And now here we are with them trying to catch up again, but trying to find a way around Amazon's algorithms and basically making it more difficult to do business for legitimate authors. Sadly, this is the way business works in this country. The people who are doing it legit are the ones who basically have to deal with the people not playing nice.
Right.
With the kids playing, throwing sand in everybody else's face. So, very interesting that I got caught in the German market, not in the U.S. market.
What? No, but it's an echo.
There we are. And yes, it is happening in the U.S. market, but not as much because which is interesting also because I think that the terms and services agreements tend to change no matter depending on what country you're in.
Mm-hmm.
So this was taken care of probably, if I remember correctly, before they changed their pricing.
Mm.
And somebody correct me in the comments if I have this off. But they corrected that. They corrected it by and large for the U.S. market some time ago, and this is just another market that is having this issue.
Gotcha.
The table of contents issue is something that is ongoing, and it leads me first to question: why are folks putting table of contents in fiction? Because a lot of the folks who are reporting this is still talking about fiction as opposed to nonfiction.
Well, and correct me if I'm wrong, but when you format an EPUB book out of Scribner, or if you upload your book to Amazon, it automatically creates a table of contents in the front of the book, based on the chapter links and everything that you've got. So, and it's automatically going to be in the front of the book. Now, I can understand authors wanting to do it in order so that their 10% sample isn't 7% front matter. Because that's what happened, especially when ebooks first started coming up, is you would download a sample and it was all like you get to the front of Chrishaun Keller books and it's 20 pages worth of just reviews for other books. So I can see authors having legitimate concern of wanting to give their potential readers a full 10% sample and not 3%, a page and a half,
Yes.
So putting all that matter toward the back, I get that. But again, I also get what you're saying is why have a table of contents at all in fiction? Because it automatically saves your place with bookmarks. So What is the point of the table of contents in fiction?
Right. And I was looking at the story on the Passive Voice where they're talking about John Walker Williams, who, according to, now this is a second-hand account of what had happened, but still very interestingly, his books were removed without notice, it would appear. And that this is also the table of contents in the back is a way that it's formatted and compiled for anyone who uses a program called Calibre, or anyone who uses Guido Hinkle's formatting method. For example, let's anyone who's read Let's Get Digital, Let's Get Visible, they are also seeing that, having that suggested. Having your table of contents once again, so we can have a full sample, so you can get a full idea of what the book is going to be. And that is David Garin. I knew I'd forgotten his name.
David Gogren, right.
Gogren, yes. And so.
Right. See, Erica said Scribner requires it, and you can put the table of contents wherever you are. As a writer, I don't really write with chapters. I have to go back and put them in, and then my formatter always wants chapters. The only front matter that I put in is the other books by. So mine's kind of very traditional as far as what it would look like in print. But the from what I read in the article that you're referring is people are putting in this linkable front matter, and it's scanning the book as read to obtain page reads.
Right.
And make up for their loss of revenue because Kindle Unlimited has changed, and you can no longer load, your front end up with things and get your page read money. People have to read through it.
Right.
So, I don't know. I'm new in this market as far as probably as you guys have probably been indies a lot longer than me. And as an author, that never occurred to me. I looked at my Kindle reads for yesterday, and one of my books had 10-page read, and I went, oh, well,
that's all.
They're not going to finish it, or they're going to finish it. It's the weekend, spring break's coming. They're going to finish it later on. but I kind of came in with my group of novels as Kindle Unlimited had just changed. So I didn't have any knowledge or experience, but there's any system you have, it doesn't matter if it's Amazon, Kobo, Drafted Digital, whatever, someone's going to find the loophole, someone's going to exploit it, and they're going to make money off it, and then they're going to get you to go to their website and pay, you know, $19.99 a month to join their updates, so you can learn their trade secrets and scam too. And eventually Amazon, I don't know, they're so big. How do they monitor it all? I mean, it's, to me, it's almost seems mind-boggling to monitor, you know, who's scamming and who's not. But there, in this market, it was the Netherlands, correct? Where they were seeing it, Germany. Right. Germany is starting to be a big market. Some of my indie friends are talking about, you know, that marketplace and doing really well. But like I said, you know, I have a Facebook page, and every day I get, you know, Mahujadeen, you know, wanting to friend me, and then I get, you know, check out my website, and I'm like, oh, please stop, just go away. But it's always going to be there. You're always going to have people to find the loophole in the system, find the link, find the, you know, the hack to make a buck. And, you know, honest authors, we just do our jobs and try to put out the best product we can. And I really don't know how you can avoid it in a market this big and everything being digital. There's always going to be a way around it. It's just like tax law. If you get a good enough attorney, he'll find you a loophole.
I mean, and it's not just in our industry. That's sadly just wherever you have business, you have people who are trying to, you know, make one over on the business, or trying to make shortcuts without having to put in the work. I mean, that's just the nature of business.
Well, people built a business on how to make money on Amazon. So every time Amazon changes the rules, those people have to go back to their game plan and figure out how they can make money. So, you know, they were making big bucks with Kindle Unlimited before.
But on the other hand, this is also business. This business will also change. For every technology out there, there's going to be a way around it. There's going to be a way to scam it. And for every way of business, there's going to be an innovation or disruption that requires those who are making a lot of money to consider how they need to change in order to continue making their money. And this is something that a lot of writers who, especially those who were around during the Amazon Gold Rush in 09 and 10, either want to fight or have adjusted and gotten used to. And a lot of writers, a lot of independent writers, are still grasping the concept that this is a business just as much as it is an art.
Right.
Oh, exactly. 100%. It's a business. And if you don't treat it like a business, you are not going to succeed. I was given the opportunity, you know, I had to pick between selling real estate and being an author, and I've always wanted to write. So I decided to, you know, step outside the box. And just as all the research data I was doing, building up to publishing my first novel, everything changed. Some core things will never change: your platform, your blog, you know, how you contact people. But, you know, I'm currently sitting in Facebook jail.
Is it like Monopoly jail?
Yeah.
You have to go 3 doubles to get out.
I had a free book promo this past week, and obviously I posted too many links to too many groups, and thank goodness I have another profile. But you know, I'm sitting in Facebook jail. And it's just like what you can do one week changes, and for the next, Amazon changes. So by the time I got to publishing, all of a sudden there's this huge uproar of, Kindle Unlimited, and I didn't even know what they were talking about. I know that you got paid, the 10% read, cha-ching automatically, because hey, I'd have been in there with some short stories.
Right. So let's change.
No, I write a 97,000 word novel, right?
Well, now it's working
so
for you now because they pay by the individual page. So what we're saying is,
right?
Sounds like what we're saying is, in the end, you have to be flexible, don't scam, and be careful when things that we think may be legitimate may look like a scam. And with that, we're going to go on and talk about Kobo, which, if we had Xavier here, who is now in Mexico, I would kill him about Canada.
He is south of the border, fighting off a case of the Mexican jumping beans.
Yes.
Oh no, that's so bad. Oh, I feel
so
bad.
Because he's getting outside. He's getting his vitamin D. Kobo CEO,
provided he doesn't simultaneously keep us. So.
Kobo CEO Michael Tamblyn recently said that 72% of their active customers are over the age of 45. In English-speaking countries and the Netherlands, more than 50% of their active customers, because I don't know English, active customers are 55 and older. Did we know this?
Right.
I find that very interesting.
Did we know this? What do we think about our audience being closer? Well, in my case, closer to my age. I turn 43 next Sunday.
I'll be 48 this week. So, and you know what? I say yes.
Why?
And you know why I say yes? Because when I put out my book, I found my first book, my second book, I have 5 novels out now. But my readers are 30, 35 and up. They're middle-aged. And as soon as I put another one out, they go buy it immediately. They don't got to check a budget. They don't got to look. They go get it. They order the paperbacks at $12.99. So, and I was actually doing some research and found that the people in society right now who have the most disposable income are 70-year-old women who are baby boomers.
Yes.
And if you are not marketing to 65 to 70-year-old active, intelligent, they don't look like their grandmother. You should see my mom. My mom's beautiful. She's 70. And she goes and she walks and she paints and she's artistic and she travels. And so if you are not marketing to that demographic, you are losing a lot of potential
right. Erica is mentioning in the comments here that readers tend to be much older, 40 to 70, and her 92-year-old Nana is a Veritas bodice ripper leader on Kindle. Yes. My grandmother, a highly intelligent woman, a highly educated woman, a politician in Cleveland, Ohio in the 70s and 80s, read a romance novel a night for as long as I knew her. She used to trade in bags with the IGA bags with her friends. They used to trade them out. And every time they had, like, Harlequin had the special editions, like a romance in every state or sports.
Janet Daly wrote those.
And the NASCAR ones and the baseball ones. And one romance for every NFL team and one romance for every baseball team. She was on it. Right.
Yep.
My 74-year-old mother-in-law is an avid AC/DC fan. She drives really fast. She smokes a lot, and she reads all the science fiction you can throw at her.
I think she just became my own personal hero.
Exactly.
Oh, she is mine.
The thing with Kobo is Kobo's bringing out a reader, and I don't see where they will, other than their 24-hour support line to use their reader that their customers can call and get help. I don't see where they're going to stand out in the market because smartphones are outpacing, as far as digital reading. Smartphones are outpacing the e-readers. Just having a specific e-reader. Before we came on air, we were talking about notes and tablets and Kindle Fires and I said if my Kindle Fire had a phone in it, would be perfect. Well, Samsung makes the Note, and that's just about the same thing. So Kindle's marketing, Kobo's marketing to that 40, 50, the baby boomer age. And I think that's good, but they're almost like a middleman website. They don't provide original content. They go to publishers and pull it in. There's no place for an indie like us to upload to Kobo.
Actually, there is.
Directly and put our work directly on there.
Actually, there is. Yes, absolutely.
Oh, is there? Okay, because I use Draft to Digital.
No, absolutely. There are. It's actually a bit more intuitive than Amazon. Their search is a bit more intuitive, and they also have reader apps that you can have on your not on Kindle, on your phones and on your iPads. Right. You can do that. Another thing is, hold on. You can upload directly. You have and you can their customer service also when you upload it's a bit more intuitive. You can get on the first in series free. They have their promotions are very, very indie friendly.
Oh, see, I haven't investigated that. Demetra, are you here? You say yes. Go look at that for me
because you will be.
My PA's in here somewhere.
You will be very, very pleased how Kobo makes it easy for you.
Because I want to write.
Right.
I want to write. I don't want to do all this stuff.
Well, Erica makes a good point in the.
Yes, boss lady.
Erica makes a really good point in the comments. The adjustable print on the e-readers are really good for the older readers. They look like a real paper book, so it's easier for them to make the transition to the e-readers, and B, they can adjust those without the LED lights flashing in their eyes. Yes. My mother is legally blind, so we're talking about very large font, and she's not comfortable with anything other than something that looks and feels and smells like a book.
Right. With Kobo also, their market share tends to be a bit more fluid when it comes to other countries because they're based in Canada and they're owned by a company who I believe is an Indian company. They have
You mean people in other countries read too? It's not just the U.S. That totally blows my mind. That totally blows my mind that there are readers in countries other than the U.S.
I know. We're big, but we're not the only one out there. And they know how to market to folks who are not Americans, because even though we have a very strong readership, we do not have the only one. We do not have the only faltering one. We do not have the only one that is growing, because once again, smartphones are becoming a way of communicating, a way of running your business. And a lot of countries that do not have all the resources that we have are using the smartphone, and that's becoming their primary source of entertainment. And Kobo is also reaching to them. Amazon, you can buy things. Kobo is a place for books. Not only that, but also they're reaching out to bookstores.
Right.
And they have the Kobo program where you can go in and look at your wish list and browse books and say, well, I wonder if Kobo has this in an e-format. You take them to the kiosk, you purchase it, it side loads over to your device that you're choosing, according to the email account that you put in there. So it is very, I wish that they...
I wish more people knew about that. I had no idea.
Kobo is a wonderful alternative. I wish they were more aggressive and taking a larger market share, but I'm sorry, I got sidetracked by what Erica was saying here.
Yeah,
I know. I saw Erica post too, and everybody's eyes went to the chat.
I wish they were more aggressive in getting a larger market share. Mark Lefebvre will be at the Smarter Artists Conference here in Austin in about a week and a half, and that's one of the things I want to talk to him about.
Well, it's really a smart move on their part, just because other countries don't seem to have a love affair with Amazon that the U.S. seems to have. Mm-hmm. They're not making. I don't know if the presence isn't just as known, or if they're just not as quick as to distribute content and devices and things out into other countries, because they're a U.S. company whose largest market share is in the U.S.
Right.
So Kobo is definitely an alternative.
Hey, Demetra, Demetra just said Kobo took over Sony and Border ebook reader content.
They did, and I look forward to them taking Barnes and Nobles when that death knell finally rings.
Well, Kobo also.
Yes, that is on its way, isn't it?
Kobo also just get sold over to a Japanese company as well. I thought I was reading something about that too, like some Japanese company. Thank you, Erica. Rakuten.
Rakuten.
Yeah, see, the smartest person in the group isn't in the chat on the screen.
She's like a cue card holder.
I know.
She obviously researched all this. She goes, here's a doc, read this doc. So I read the document, and I read it, and like when you guys get to the IT thing on the Google Docs or whatever that is, like I'm clueless. I am so clueless on some things. And obviously she researched all this to have us all interact on the show, but I read that and my brain cramped. So
speaking of which, we don't have a lot of time, but I want to touch on both of these just now. Google Docs is going into the Scribner space, it would appear, and now making it easy for you to format your books and export them as an EPUB, complete with word indexes.
I saw that.
I know, and this, for me, I think is really good because, number one, you have the capability to write your book, to edit your book, to save it in the cloud so you can reach it on any computer, format it, and then send it out as an EPUB. Talk about one-stop shopping.
Idea. I think this is a good plan.
And then not only that, once Google Play figures out what they're going to do with all those Oyster people, which was the Netflix of independent of ebooks, I wouldn't be surprised if you could just hit a button and send it over to their new Google Play. What do y'all think about that? Very quickly.
Oh, yes.
I haven't investigated Google Play because they're not taking any new
They're
offers.
not doing that. They haven't done that for months.
So,
unless you're using an Italian outfit that's allowing you to do that. But they're not dead. They're not dead at all. They are. Okay. They recently side-sized Oyster, and they won't say what they're doing there. Is it StreetLib? Yes, it is StreetLib. That's the aggregator that you can get into Google Play. And I believe there is one other, and neither I nor Erica can remember the name of them. But that is very interesting. As the tech on the show, I find it that one of the expanding areas when it comes to servicing indie publishers is the one-stop shop. Right. Like Scribner is a incredible, very deeply featured program, and I've been using it for years. It got me through graduate school and through my publishing now, but there's no way to have it online. There isn't a way to have it on your phone. There isn't a way to have it on your tablet.
And as inexpensive as it is, not everybody has the access to it or can afford it. Google Docs is free, open source.
Mm-hmm. And you can use it with things like ProWrite Aid and Hemingway. Noveler, which came out about 2 years ago, tried to be the Scrivener killer and do everything Scrivener did, but online, but it doesn't have the richness that Scrivener has. And it's still, because you have Google Docs there, why would you pay $10 a month or $100 a year to go on to Noveler as well? I was looking at that. But, go ahead.
I was going to say, I was reading the chat, Demetra and Erica talking about being able to write offline. Like I said, Demetra's a tech guru, so she's pretty savvy on stuff. But I haven't tried Scribner, and the reason why is because I'm a pantster, and I write totally off the cuff, and the idea of having to use a program that's so detailed hurts.
There is a massive learning curve with Scribner.
It's a learning curve. I can't get there yet. I think I'm so focused on other things right now. And maybe one day when I settle down, because I am writing a series, and it was suggested I get one of my very first and fan beta readers to actually write my family tree in the series, because I didn't start out with Scribner, so to like incorporate everything into it would be it would probably take me
actually it would probably take you about a half hour. Scribner is one of the things about Scribner is
so says you.
And I am the tech girl, so it'll probably take Nightfall about 30 minutes. But honestly, when it comes to just writing, all you have to do is open up Scrivener, open up a program, and start writing.
Right.
Can you use Scribner? But you can only use that on. Is it a downloadable program or is it web-based?
Once again, it is a program. That's their major flaw, is the fact that you cannot. There isn't a web client. There isn't a way to use it on your tablet, and there isn't a way to collaborate, which is the reason why Google Docs has been able to come in and take some of that away. And now you can do it with the EPUB, which was the one advantage that Scrivener had over Gdocs. The fact that you would have to pop it into Scrivener or something else to turn it into an EPUB. But now that you can solve this through Google Docs.
So Google Docs is kind of posing themselves to move into this e-publishing and compete with Scribner.
They're answering the objections.
I'm used to Google Docs. I could probably use Google Docs a whole lot easier than I've looked at Scribner, and it's too much for me.
Scribner has a lot of bells and whistles. I think it definitely plays to the planners of the writing world, as opposed to maybe people who are off the cuff.
Yes, the plotters. Those plotting writers.
Yeah.
Yep, I'm not one of those. And people ask me, how long did it take you to come up with that idea? And it just came out with the whole story. There was no, going, and I do research, but, I have to stop and do research because I'll put something in there and go, oh, if I don't know what I'm talking about, they're going to slay me here. So I got to go look this up. And I grew up in used bookstores, and I owned a used bookstore. And let me tell you what, especially in romance, those romance readers, you get the eye color wrong, you get the hair color wrong, you get the wrong century, you get the wrong dress type, the shoe, the corset, they know.
Yes, they know.
They know. Those readers are knowledgeable about whatever genre, if they like pirate novels, they know all about that. Or if, they like paranormal or whatever. So, you gotta know your stuff, and I can see where Scrivener would be good for that because it does keep reference. But I like the Google Doc idea a lot. That's appealing to me now that we're talking about it, because I couldn't wrap my brain around the article 100%.
That's what we're here for.
Yep.
And I just fell into this broadcast.
And welcome, James.
It definitely looks a lot cleaner than, Scrivener. You look at it at first glance, and it can be intimidating. It's got a lot of bells and whistles and pretty colors and things that I absolutely love. But for somebody who's never used something like this, Google Docs is a lot less intimidating.
Yes.
So
it's a lot less intimidating, and you can also use it with Word, which seems to be the gateway drug of Google Docs.
Now, is it integratable with something like Evernote? Because it seems like the one thing that Scribner is missing is an Evernote capability of that whole having desktop and web app.
Right. I believe it is. I'm almost sure it is compatible with Evernote, and to be able to use it. I do not use Evernote because I am still, you want to talk about old technology, I still organize a lot of my stuff in pen and paper. Yep. And
I have to write it down. I have to write down or it's gone from my brain.
Right. And I also use Google Keep, which is keep.google.com, where I can put all my notes, and I can switch it once again between my different Gmail accounts, and I can pop those into Docs if needed. Well, we are coming, actually we've gone overtime, but not as bad as we usually do. And we filled up the time, and thanks, and this is thanks once again to Cate Morgan and to Dr. Yurkas. And so sorry, Erica. So sorry, Erica, you couldn't join us, but we're going to get this sorted so you can come back up next time. And thank you.
It was so nice to meet you all. And I'm so glad that people showed up. And
we always have a great crowd. And I want to encourage you to join us on Thursday nights at, I forgot what time we start.
10 o'clock.
At 8 p.m. At 10 o'clock Eastern Time, 7 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, 10 o'clock Eastern Time for our main show. And join us here next time. You can also find us on iTunes. My outro is killing me, people. On iTunes, on selfpublishingroundtable.com. And
you can follow on Facebook. You can follow on Twitter. And there's a YouTube channel.
You can do all of those things. And before we go, DR, can you tell folks where they can find you?
I am currently right now on Amazon. And I have a Braxton Carter series out. We're doing promotionals. Everything's in the Kindle Unlimited. So, and we've got promos coming up. But I am exclusively on Amazon right now until the end of April.
And Kate, where can they find you?
My internet home base is at catemorgan.com. You can find my Facebook and Twitter links there as well. And
once again, go ahead.
And where can
they can find
you?
Me, as always, at alazar.com, AAAZAR.com. And you can find us at selfpublishingroundtable.com. Thank you. Y'all have a good night. Bye, Internets.
Bye, Internet.
Thank you. Bye.
Done.